Joining us live now to discuss this weekend's events is Israel's ambassador to Canada, Ido Moed. We appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. This weekend attack was obviously a very clear escalation in the tensions in the conflict between Israel and Iran. But while Iran has been funding its terrorist proxies in the region and supplying them with arms and weapons to attack Israel for decades, this was significant because this was the first time Iran launched a direct attack on your country. So how does this weekend's events change the dynamics, the geography of this conflict moving forward? And is the Israeli War Cabinet unified on how and when it will respond?
Good morning, Jamie. Thank you for having me this morning. Look, there is a lot has changed that in many people's eyes, but to us in Israel, it has been very clear from the outset. Iran was behind the 7th of October attack against Israel. Iran is behind Hezbollah, who is threatening the northern border. Iran is behind the Houthis. They are behind what is going on in Syria, Iraq. Iran has been there for many, many years, calling out loud for the eradication of the state of Israel, and now simply attacking directly from Tehran into Israel because they want to destroy us. So there's nothing new there. What is new for Iran, I think, is the fact that not only Israel, but a large group of number of countries close to Israel, far from Israel, are standing together with us against this evil. Because all of us understand that their goal is not just to eliminate the state of Israel, but to destabilize the whole Middle East.
Well, touching upon that, Israel received help from its allies like the U.S., UK, France to intercept many of these missiles and drones that were headed towards Israel. But what was also symbolic was the fact that Jordan and Saudi Arabia also stepped up to support Israel, opening up its airspaces. And I'm curious, what message do you think that sends to Iran, Yemen, and other regional Arab states? And what kind of response do you think it will garner from those Arab states after you got support from historical adversaries, but even though you do have a peace treaty with Jordan?
So they all see the same image, the Dome of the Rock being attacked from Tehran, being protected with the Iron Dome prepared and devised by Israel, shot to defend it because we defend the rights of all those who live within Israel. So it's an assault of Iran against the world. It's an assault of Iran that is perpetrated by blind hate, not only against Israel, but against the whole region. That's why these countries stand with us. And so this may be an eye-opener for Iran. For us, it's been clear all along that all those Abraham Accord countries which maintain their peaceful relations with Israel throughout this half-year ordeal of war, this is an eye-opener perhaps for them to understand that we will not stop, that this region will remain peaceful, and we will work together in spite of those horrible images that we are all witnessing. But we have to get rid of Hamas. We have to retrieve 133 hostages. We have to make sure that we will build a future of coexistence in the region for the benefit of all of us. And let me just say one more thing. If actions are taken right now, like blacklisting, designating the Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organization, that will be extremely helpful, and that will be extremely important as a message to Iran that this is not just a one-time event. This is an ongoing situation that the whole world sees Iran as the enemy.
Ambassador, I'm sure you're aware the Trudeau Liberal government, along with the help of the NDP, recently voted in favor to stop sending arms to Israel at a time when your country is at war. How does the Israeli government feel that one of its key allies is no longer willing to support them by sending arms? And how does that move impact the relationship between the two countries?
So there have been a number of decisions and moves by the Canadian government which raised our concern, and we've said that also publicly and also in our direct communications. The solidarity and the strength of relation between Canada and Israel is there, and they're very clear. Prime Minister Trudeau, Foreign Minister Joly, and also the head of the opposition condemned the attacks very clearly and unequivocally. But there are issues that concern us in the bilateral context, and we raise those, including the fact that there is a declaration on some kind of arms embargo of some sorts. And we also hear the same voices are the opposite voices from the same government, from the same party, from the Liberal Party, calling for revision. So we are looking to get more clarity on this as time progresses.
Moving forward, what other kind of support will Israel be seeking from other G7 countries, including Canada?
So as I mentioned, direct designation of the IRGC is extremely important and is required immediately. Economic sanctions against Iranian industries that support the missile industry, the UAV and all of that, that is also extremely important. And also making statements throughout, be it the United Nations Security Council that hopefully will convene very soon and come out with a declaration, and other organizations to make sure that Iran understands that their rogue behavior will not be tolerated. The use of Houthis in the Red Sea to thwart international trade is unacceptable. The use of missiles, the attack of a country and country's sovereignty are in direct contrast to contradiction to international law, and that must be punished. That cannot be tolerated.
I have to wrap this up. I got about 20 seconds, Ambassador. There are already growing calls for Israel to show restraint in its response to avoid setting off a much wider conflict in the region. Very quickly, what's your reaction to those calls?
We will do whatever is necessary to let our adversaries know that attacking Israel will come at a price. This will not be tolerated. Whoever hits us, we will hit back.
Israel's ambassador to Canada, Ido Moed, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.